Okay, so I'm sure you've experienced this problem. You look at the code you're working on and you fully understand all of the interconnecting files and logic, and that's brilliant. But then let's say you go away and you work on another project, and a month later you come back to this original code. Now things are slightly blurry as to how things are working together. There's this file that relates to that, but then how does that file relate to this and connect to this part of the code? Now you have to spend time reinstalling your understanding of what's going on just to get up to speed with your original code in the first place. But I do think that time to reconnect the pieces can be reduced with this technique that I've learned from Oddell, and it's been so valuable to me, and I don't want it to fall into the YouTube void and get forgotten about. So I'll get straight into it and start showing you how to use this technique. So here is a coding project I've been working on. It's a booking system for cruises with vanilla JavaScript. And in recent weeks, this project has started to kind of grow in scale and size with more complexity that I have to kind of keep loaded into my brain. And a common tool to store some of this information and complexity would be a README document, which is useful. But I also think a visual diagram can be just as valuable. And so I'll show a quick example of this. So right now you can see my code for this cruise booking system. And we'll draw out a few of these files. Here I'm using Excalidraw to do this, but any other diagramming tool will work. And so I have a central hub app.js file that is loaded first. So essentially this file handles server requests and connects to the backend server.js endpoints. And so I'll connect this up. And this app.js file also uses various modular components I've set up. So we have sidebar, we have date mode, and we have search. And then I also noticed that my search component references a rendering file here that I have, which is called app render functions. And I indicate this in my diagram also, so I don't forget. And so just quickly, just from that brief putting those files together, you can quickly see that I have like a bird's eye view of my logic, and that understanding is stored here in this file for easy reference in the future. If you do go away for a month and you come back to this file, you can quickly see, okay, this is doing this is doing that, this is how it interconnects. And I could just quickly understand that, well, this file relies on that file, and oh, I haven't set up this part of my logic flow yet, I need to do that, so I'll connect this bit to that. And by mapping out your code in this diagram format as you work on it, you build it out, it enables you to retain that context that you can refer to in the future. And so when you do come back to it, that time to reinstall that understanding is just a bit smoother on your brain. It's a bit easier and not as hard work. And you don't need to exert as much mental effort to bring yourself up to speed. And this is no different from the usual diagramming that you see in professional software development, but it can absolutely be applied to your personal projects to keep that idea of how things are just interconnecting easily. And you can also use this file to explain the logic to other developers or just non-technical individuals. It's far easier to quickly grasp logic when it's shown to you in a visual way that interconnects, rather than like verbal descriptions or explanations or just simply pointing to various code files. People understand it if it's mapped out to them. It's far easier. And also it just helps you avoid errors. You have a better understanding of the structure of your application, the architecture, and therefore you're less prone to kind of working on the wrong piece of code and then wasting time. And so overall, this technique just requires minimal effort and just gives you a lot of reward. And so I hope this video has been useful, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.